That's how it ends then. Well, please yourselves. Those are the Proles, and that's on Small Wonder Records. And it's called Soft Ground. This next one is for Paul Morley of the NME, yet another victim of post-gig aggro. And if the kids are united indeed. This is The Specials and Concrete Jungle. Just hope it doesn't happen again, Paul. Actually, it's getting daft, isn't it? I mean, you don't need me to tell you that. I mean, you just have to read the papers, really, the music papers in particular. But you can't go to a gig these days unless you go with a bucket full of hand grenades. And yet, at the same time, they're about to install cruise missiles in our garden, so I don't know. Scritti Politti, and this is from an EP of theirs, which apparently has been around for some time, and I've only just got copies of it. Well, not even a copy of it, in acetate, in fact. And this is Bibliotech.
less with dilation of the substance. I don't take no interest or nothing less than lose. Every little if there were no one ever noticed, I take no interest. I don't explain that which can buy with me. Those knowledge is like whatever left for us to do. Hang around, waiting in lines. And any map of beach can be written in 3 ways. We take no big interest. I mean, of the direction, wrap a point around you, temperature, wrap language around a coat, action, wrap fashion around anything, money, put the money in there, class, hard equals, high project it's our foundation, real things, shit, home, uphold the rules, secondary big kids. Come along, which person we will never understand. Waste that time doing eyes empty days. Any map of beach can be written in 4 ways. We take no big interest. Means of production, wrap a coat around you, temperature. Language around a coat, action, wrap fashion around anything, money, put the money in there, king is only because each leader sets themselves together up as one. Every teach, every pleasure brought in break, each takes a muscle, each celebrate, which in martyrs no good, is wanted, and getting closer. I mean, don't put direction and love what they want to know. They know. Drawing what they want, waste and what they want.
The Scrits, and if any of them are listening, that's Scrittability, of course, and if any of them are listening, it'd be nice to have a proper pressing of the first cut, lads, if you can do that, because obviously I can't play the acetate very often. That's Bibliotech from an EP on Rough Trade, Oblique, St Pancras Records. The band off to Belgium with swell maps in the morning. I don't know, some people have a grand time. Flies and Energy Boy. A sorely underrated band, that, I think. Those are the Flies from Coventry and Energy Boy. Now, would you care to take a step with me into the void? And that's a sound no doubt familiar to people who live in the vicinity of 7 The Grove, Rye Hill, Wakefield, which is the contact address for the band, Stranger Than Fiction, who are unique, I would say, in that 3 of the 4 members of the band look like Gary Newman. That's called Into the Void, and it's on LEJ Records. The Burtons from the LP Hybrid Kids, and an unusual version of MacArthur Park.
Foaming like a wave on the ground around your knees. The birds like tender babies
Those are the Burtons, as was, and that's from the LP Hybrid Kids on Cherry Red Records. Hybrid Kids. Is that what it's called? Yeah, it is, yeah. Funny. Didn't seem right somehow. Anyway, MacArthur Park, and I know Reedy's played you that one in the past. And this next one is from the Raincoats LP. It's Off Duty Trip, and there have been several reviews of the album saying that it's really rather miserable and depressing sort of a record, and I suppose in a certain way it is, but being miserable is a bit of a laugh at times. I mean, I was feeling thoroughly miserable last night, to be honest with you. I didn't say anything at the time, I didn't want to bore you with it, but Walters and myself had been out to just for a quick half of wine, been down to the wine bar around the corner, you see, which is full of, media people, all coming in and doing a kind of, Quentin, haven't seen you since that party at George's place, you still with Iphigenia? You know, the kind of thing. And we were sitting the next table to Anna Ford, actually, just goes to show, you see, mingling with the stars and things. And everybody knew everybody else, except for Walters and myself. And we just sat there and we thought, well, we're quite interesting sort of media-based people. We don't know anybody at all. Even my brother Alan, who's just a film editor or something. Well, he's more than that, he would be quick to tell me. But, I mean, he knows, he's always going off and having meals with famous people and so on. Anyway, I don't know why I got into that. These are the Raincoats. Well, when I was in the army, you spent most of your life boozing, skiving and painting things, and I don't imagine things have changed a great deal since then. Those were the Raincoats, and that's Off Duty Trip. And I will admit that the Raincoats are not the Undertones, but the Undertones are not the Raincoats. That's baffled you, hasn't it? This is Derek Morgan. Oh, to be on any questions. This is Derek Morgan, The First Taste of Love.
The very first time I kissed you, it was so thrilling. I made it so great. break was I knew that your heart was a willing darling. I never thought that I'd give love a try. Then you came walking by and gave me my first taste of love. The very first time you held me, it was so nice. Finally found that place that they call paradise. I was a very sad and lonely guy. Then you came walking by and gave me my first taste of love. Your lips upon my lips, your arms around my waist. How can I forget your first kiss? Oh, I put a head on my shoulder, stay real close, baby, don't let go. Let me go now. Forget about tomorrow, just live for tonight, cause I love you so. Yeah. And when that love light twinkles in your eyes, swear we gonna never die, cause I've got my first taste of love. Tomorrow, just live for tonight, cause I love you so. Yeah. And when that love light twinkles in your eyes, swear we gonna never die, cause I've got my first taste of love. Swear we gonna never die, cause I've got my first taste of love. Swear we gonna never die, cause I've got my first taste of love.
Nice that, isn't it? On the Crab label, Derek Morgan, The First Taste of Love. I found that in a pile of records at home the other day. Didn't even know I'd got a copy of it. Extraordinary. Must be only the second or third time it's ever been played. From 1969. There you go. Jane Kennaway and an EP on Din Disc. This is limited edition.
Shortcut to
That's Jane Kenaway. Wish I knew more about that, really. That's a limited edition. I mean, that's the title on an EP on Din Disc Records. Andy Peebles has his photograph in the programme for the biggest record sale in the world. Looks quite mad as well, too. Looks as though he's only seconds away from biting the photographer rather severely. It sounds like this.
Talk About this week tries to decide what should be taught in schools. Will you be turfed out of your educational establishment this year, skilled in the ways of life, or schooled for failure? What qualifications would help you with unemployment? Are CSEs, O or A-levels all that they're cracked up to be? Why struggle with religious education when political education would do instead? And what long-lasting effect will the education cuts have on your life? You can join me, Andy Peebles, the students from Dick Shepherd School in South London, and special guests as we look at the school system on Talk About tomorrow night at 7 o'clock right here on
Radio 1.
I wanted to get my English literature O-level. I didn't get it, though.